Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. What are your predictions for your team going into this season? Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful? Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team? Let's talk about your new second driver. How are they settling in? Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
I recommend we could go for something like this. You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select. While you will receive acclaim for beating them, you'll lose acclaim if you fail to do so.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining. Just put in the fastest lap. Good job. Understood, stopping this lap.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Joker, Bottas, and
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Great qualifying session. Are you feeling safer ahead of the pack? How's your grid penalty going to affect your strategy going into the race? Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you? Great. Well, that's everything.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that'll depend on what the other drivers get.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of a 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish. Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race. Nice work, that brings you up a place. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. stewards have given you a 3-second time penalty for contact with other cars. That's 3 seconds to be added to our race time. Bottas is up in first place. This is your final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 11.6 seconds. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your...
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. Do you think that grid penalty was justified? It must be gutting to miss out on a podium due to penalties. Do you think it was the right call by the officials? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Appreciate your time.
Morning, boss. This week's income from the sponsors has cleared, and we're making good profit against our running costs. We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your R&D screen to order any redevelopments. What do you think of this one? Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Joker, Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Are there any drivers that you've got a rivalry with at the moment? Are you feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the race? It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid. Do you feel that you don't need to practice? Appreciate your time.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than a Before we begin, let's take a quick look.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going. Well done, mate. Nice start. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. This is your final lap of the race. You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
A truly magnificent drive then, and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
Let's move on.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Appreciate your time.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix. If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.